Good morning, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here, pardon me, for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges, and then we'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit. I'll determine if that bond will be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Jason Folds.
He's coming, Your Honor.
Very good. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth? Mr. Folds, what's your date of birth? Okay. There's two charges this morning. I have battery being domestic in nature and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, do you wish to represent yourself? You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender? I'll appoint the public defender. State, can you tell me anything?
I'm showing possession of marijuana, disposition guilty in 2013. A driving while license suspended, disposition guilty 2013. Possession of firearm, concealed weapon by convict, disposition guilty 2013. Out of Hernando County, obstructing or opposing an officer without violence. 2011, disposition guilty out of Hillsborough County. A disposition guilty for possession of paraphernalia in 2009, as well as a flee elude Elio with lights, disposition guilty 2009, possession of cocaine disposition 2009. The disposition is guilty.
That's good.
Out of Hernando County.
Okay. And sir, I have an address for you on Toucan Trail in Spring Hill. Is that where you live? Okay. Do you have a job? Super. I'll set your bond at $1,000 on each count. The total is $2,000. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact whatsoever with George Hicks. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. You don't have a third person contact him. You don't go where he lives. You don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I'm going to have to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. We're going to have you back in court on the 6th of April. They told you the 9th. The right date is the 6th. If you're able to bond out, you should contact the public defender's office right away. Mr. faults. It's been a scintillating conversation for me. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Judge, what was that date?
4-6. Tyler Horsley. Morning, Mr. Horsley. What's your date of birth?
10/7/87.
There's 3 charges this morning: burglary with a battery, criminal mischief, and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD state.
Showing that he's a multi-source offender. I see a disorderly intoxication dropped in 2015, a dropped battery in Hernando County 2009. Just all the cases seem to be dropped, and that's 2 other dropped batteries. And then I don't have the out-of-state history in front of me.
Okay. And Mr. Horsley, where have you been living lately?
Homeless.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No.
As to the burglary with the battery, I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. As to the 2 other misdemeanors at $1,000 each, that's a total of $12,000. Condition of those bonds is that you will have no contact with Paul Horsley. Did you hear me explain no contact a moment ago?
Yeah.
Did you understand it?
Yeah.
Very good. Also, hold you up until 4 p.m., so if he wants to serve you with a civil injunction, we know where to find you. You'll be back in court on the 9th of April. If you're able to bond out, you should contact the public defender right away. Thank you. Yes, you want to do, Ms. Campbell?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Still early. Judge, Ms. Campbell's in front of the court on case 2018 CT 42. I believe the court has the file.
Yep.
Judge, what it is, we've reached an agreement with the state trying not to let us plead no contest to a wet reckless. What we have, Judge, is I spoke to probation. It's 6 months probation with early term once she does all the conditions. That's DUI school, VIP, fine and court costs, and 50 hours community service. She's going to, if the court allows, purchase out the 50 hours community service, pay the fine and court costs today. She's already completed the VIP and the DUI school with treatment. We did a notice of filing. She'll be in the court file, and I also showed Ms. Newby the originals. And I actually gave her a copy of it, as well as the state prior to this.
She may plead and get placed on probation today and then be terminated.
That was what we were going to ask you, sir. Yes, sir, Judge.
Okay.
We're going to go down to room 136, my understanding, and give them a bit of money.
Right. Very good. Ms. Campbell, raise your right hand. Solemnly swear affirm tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name.
Victoria Campbell.
All right, Vicki, relax. Okay? It's going to be over in a second, and nothing bad's going to happen from here forward, okay? I don't want you to pass out or anything. Because then he has to do first aid.
Yeah, we don't
want
want
to do that. All right, very good.
He's
Vicki,
not
you understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so you can take care of this today?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you had sufficient time to speak to him and he's answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 18 CT 42 as to the amended charge of reckless driving involving alcohol. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contact.
I'll accept that plea. The find is freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, put you on probation for 6 months, have you pay the fine and court costs of $1,031, complete the level 1 DUI school, substance abuse evaluation following your recommended treatment, 1 victim impact panel, 50 hours of community service, which you may buy off at $10 an hour. And as soon as those things are done, then you can terminate your probation, which it sounds like you're going to do later this morning. There was also a civil infraction, 18 TR 262. DL not carried. I'm going to dismiss the civil infraction since you've taken a plea in the criminal case. So, Vicki, we're going to get some fingerprints from you. You'll get paperwork. You'll meet briefly with the probation officer, and then down to room 136 to pay everything else off, and you're on your way. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Michelle Booth. Morning, Ms. Booth. What's your date of birth?
12/10/1971.
Charge is criminal mischief. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Can I just get sentenced today? Is it a possibility?
That's a possibility. State if you wanted to plead out today, what would be the...
I'm sorry?
Hang on.
Oh, these are they dropped or? Well, we have a big. We don't have any presentations.
Wait, got 1 second, Your Honor. We're just kind of seeing about
Right.
victim issues here.
Ms. Booth, you have a seat. I'll call you back
Sorry,
when they
Judge.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
I'll take it.
Maya Burke. Miss Burke, what's your date of birth? Miss Burke, what's your date of birth?
5/26/99.
Charge is trespass. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. State with me, tell me.
Showing no
you.
history, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
Showing no history,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
And Miss Burke, do you have an address? I don't have an address for you. Where you been staying lately?
No homeless.
Okay. Been staying with anybody or living outdoors?
Outdoors.
Okay. You have a job these days?
No.
Since you're bonded $500, we'll have you back in court on the 6th of April. If you get out, you should contact the public defender's office right away. If you don't get out, they'll come see you at the jail, all right?
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. Paige Kakamo. Want to miss what your date of birth?
Jan 28, 1961.
There's two charges, misuse of 911 and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I'll represent myself, thank you.
Very good. State.
It's just showing FTA in 2014 out of Pinellas County and an FTA out of Pinellas County as well in 2014 in April of that year, same year. Other than that, Your Honor, no other.
Ma'am, I have an address for you on DeSale Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
2 years.
Do you have a job these days?
No.
Okay. Set your bond at $500 on each count. I'll have you back in court on April 6th, all right? Thank you. Katya Denny. Morning, Miss Denny. What's your date of birth?
5/22/67.
And the charge this morning is trespass. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm showing a probation violation out of Hernando County in 2010. A failure to appear reference out of Hernando County in 2003. A obtained properties with a worthless checks. And that was actually dismissed, so sorry about that, Your Honor. And that's all the history I'm showing, Your Honor.
All right. Miss Denny, I have an address for you on Talbot Circle in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
About a year.
And you have a job these days?
No.
Leave the bond at the $500. I'll have you back in court on the 6th of April. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine Hernandez. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
June 2087.
Charge is driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. State what you tell me.
No other history, Your Honor.
And Catherine, I have an address for you. I don't. You live in Tampa, is that right?
I do.
Do you have an address in Tampa?
A mailing address, but I've been living out of my car.
Okay. What's the mailing address?
9320 North Dartmouth Avenue.
And you have a job these days?
No.
We'll set your bond at $500. We'll have you back on April 6th. If you're able to bond out, it's very important that you contact the public defender's office right away, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Krista Melcher. Morning, Ms. Melcher. What's your date of birth?
2687.
Two charges this morning. I have a burglary of a dwelling and a criminal mischief. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I would like a public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. State what you tell me.
Yep. Failure to appear reference out of Hernando County in 2018. And then there's a driving with a license suspended Hernando case from January 11th, 2018. I guess those are probably open cases. And then a probation violation reference on Pasco County in 2016, driving with license suspended, 2015, disposition guilty, and possession of your referendum, 2015, disposition guilty, grand theft, disposition guilty in 2015, and grand theft, disposition adjudication held in 2015 on a Gainesville, failure to appear reference on Hernando County in 2014, probation violation on Alachua County 2014, failure to appear on Hernando County in 2013, fraudulent use of a credit card, disposition guilty 2011, out of Pinellas, contempt of court, Marion County 2011, failure to appear on Pinellas in 2011, failure to appear on Citrus in 2009, a probation violation on Hernando in 2006, a disposition guilty in 2005, theft, and that is what I'm showing, Your Honor.
And it looks like she does have something open. Right? Oh,
It's 2018 CF 132.
it's an FDA. It didn't get served up in.
Your Honor, I have a question about the FTA. There was a group of...
No, we're not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
So here's what we're going to do, Krista, on these new charges. I will leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $10,000 on the burglary and $1,000 on the criminal mischief, for a total of $11,000. So the CF case doesn't have a return date either. Okay, jail. Do you guys know about the warrant for the FDA?
Is it for case number 18 CF 132?
Right.
Yes, she was served that on 3/7. I show a return court date of 3/20.
I surrendered myself.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's right, because it's sitting in a basket downstairs for the last 2 weeks. Something like that. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do, so 320 they have. So I'm going to move this case to March 20th, where your other case is. As far as that case goes, 18 CF 132, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in that case because there was a bond set. So you'll be on no bond on that case, at least until you get back in front of your judge, whoever that is. And that's pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, because I'm finding that you may have committed a new crime while eligible for pretrial release. So both your cases will be coming back on the 20th, Krista, and the public defender will come see you at the jail before then, okay?
So I'm going to be going the 20th, Your Honor?
Yep.
For everything, or for just the
for
FTA
everything.
and the...
For everything.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You bet. Heather Thompson. Morning, Ms. Thompson. What's your date of birth?
32284.
All right. And Ms. Thompson, you're here on a warrant that I signed. You failed to appear in my court on a charge of driving on a suspended license.
I was in the hospital.
Yeah. Okay. And state this, she was, I don't know what you offered her, but it looks like this money that was holding her up from getting a license. Is this something she can resolve today?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been making payments on that.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Hang on a second. Heather Thompson. Oh, that's oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so we can just do time served.
Right. Okay. So Heather, if you'd like to resolve it today, you could plead no contest. That adjudicates you guilty. It sentence you to 1 day in the county jail with credit for 1 day served, and then this case would be over. You could obviously still work on getting your license back on your own, but you wouldn't be coming to court anymore. Is that something you'd like to do?
So I can leave today?
Yes.
Alright.
Understand by entering a plea, Heather, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today.
Yes, sir.
Case number 17 CT 4280 as to the charge that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea. Find it's freely and voluntarily made. I will adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 1 day in the county jail. Credit 1 day served. Finding court costs is $438.50 for the night in jail, but that takes care of it, Heather. There's nothing else keeping you in the jail. You'll be released today. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Summer Woodall. Summer, what's your date of birth?
9983.
Summer, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on Judge Rupi's warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see her on the 6th of April. The public defender is going to come see you before then to see if they can get your case worked out, all right?
May I address you for a second? I already did the time on this.
Probation's recommendation 30 days.
I did 6 months and 5 days in for each count.
Okay. Where did you do your time?
Here in Hernando, 6 months and 2 days in, and now 2 more days in, and 2 days in Vasco. For $1.79.
Do you have other charges when you were in Hernando County?
No, sir. Nothing.
So she did 6 months in county jail on a misdemeanor petty theft and then got put on probation?
No, I did the 6 months probation.
She was placed on probation.
I did 5 days total in jail, 6 months probation, paid all of the supervision.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, okay. They want 30 days in the county jail, Summer, not 6 months probation. 30 days in the county jail. That's your resolution today.
Okay.
But she does have 6 days credit here.
Okay. And
I don't understand.
It's a warrant for violating probation. The resolution probation is recommending is 30 days in the county jail. You have credit for 6, which means you'd have about 19 left to do. Today is the 14th of March. You counted today as one of the credit days?
Yes, sir.
Which means you pick up another 17 this month and 2 more in April. So if you take the plea, you'll be done before you would go back to court again. You'd be done April 2nd with this case. If you take the plea, you'll be back to court April 6th if you don't.
So how many days is that? I'm sorry.
Take the plea and you get out of jail April 2nd. Don't take the plea and you get out of jail April 6th.
I'll take the plea.
Outstanding. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial to the court and the right to confront the witnesses against you, and the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you're willing to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yeah.
Very good. Case number 17, MM2063. Do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes.
I'll accept the admission, find it's freely and voluntarily made, revoke and terminate the probation unsuccessfully, adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charge. I will sentence you to 30 days in the county jail, credit for 6 days served, $50 cost of prosecution and your cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it. Summer, your EOS should be April 2nd. I apologize if it's a day later. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Amy Young. Morning, Amy. What's your date of birth?
06/15/1997.
Amy, the charge is possession of controlled substance. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Was showing a failure to appear reference on a Lake County in 2015, a battery on a officer, firefighter, 2015 disposition guilty, and out of Hernando County, disposition guilty, disorderly conduct in 2015, out of Hernando County, aggravated battery, pretrial diversion, 2013, out of Marion County, and no other history, Your Honor.
Amy, I have an address for you on Corliss Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Been there for about 2 months. It's a program where you get to stay with your child and kind of like go get your life together type stuff.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm still searching. I work under the table, but nothing on the table yet.
Your Honor, if you don't mind me, that is juvenile history. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Amy, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. I'll have you back in court on the 9th of April. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Michelle Booth, bail plea offer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to do an adjudication of guilt with a probation period with restitution reserved because we need to get with the victim and no victim contact.
Michelle, are you on probation to take care of this?
Yeah, I take probation. It's
Okay.
misdemeanor.
Right? It's going to be 6 months.
I have a baby, sir.
Okay, it's going to be 6 months of probation. Fine and court costs and restitution would be reserved. If you want to take that today, we can do that right now.
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, and the right to have a lawyer, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir. Is the restitution paying for the window?
Yep.
Because I bought a window at the house that I reside in.
Right.
So
That's the end.
that would be my restitution?
Right.
Okay.
As to the charge of criminal mischief, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest,
I'll
sir.
accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, put you on probation for 6 months. While you're on probation, you will pay a fine and court cost of $503. You'll make restitution for the window. They'll give you an amount within the next 60 days. And you'll have no contact whatsoever with Mr. Penn. As soon as you have completed the conditions of your probation, you may terminate the probation early. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail today, you will be released. You need to report to misdemeanor probation here in Brooksville no later than...
Wait.
What?
I do have a question. Why can't I have no contact with my kid's father? We both reside on the same property.
Okay, because you committed a crime against him, so you're not having contact until the probation is over, all right?
Okay, until the probation is over? What if he goes down to the state attorney or something?
Oh.
Can that be possible?
Yep, that could be possible, but he won't know that because you can't tell him.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I can have a friend tell him, right?
Nope. Nope. If you do anything to cause him to find it out, you'll be violating your probation, and then you're going to do at least 60 days in the county jail.
Okay.
All right. You'll report to misdemeanor probation no later than 3 p.m. on Friday, March 16th, 2018. If you fail to report by that, you will also have violated your probation. Thank you very much.
Thank
Nathaniel
you.
Akins.
Aikens.
Yeah, Aikens. Morning, Mr. Aikens. What's your date of birth?
February 9th, 1982.
Mr. Aikens, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to have you back in court on April 11th. Looks like they told you the 9th. The right date is the 11th. PD will come see you before then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Robert Bellinger. Morning, Robert. What's your date of birth?
Morning. June 5th, 1979.
Robert, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for one count of battery being domestic in nature. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Showing 2010 disposition guilty for a worthless check out of Hernando County. Disposition guilty for harassed witness victim or informant 2009. And as well as a battery, domestic in nature, to 2009 disposition guilty, both out of Hernando County. Criminal mischief, disposition guilty in 98, as well as a battery, disposition guilty in 98, both out of Hillsborough County. A driving with license suspended, 98, disposition guilty.
That's probably good. Robert, an address, is it Wimberley Court? Is that where you're living?
Correct.
Okay. And how long have you been there?
About 2 months.
And, all right, very good. Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm disabled.
Okay. To set your bond at $1,000, condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Ms. Garapi. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier this morning?
Absolutely.
And you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Very good. I'll have you back in court on the 6th of April. Very important that you go see the public defender if you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gilbert Boyer. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
November 23, 1952.
Gilbert, I've got 2 charges today. I've got 1 count of child abuse and 1 count of felony domestic battery by strangulation. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint
Yeah,
a
I'm
public
going to bring them all into court. I want to bring everybody into court with that, you know.
Of course you do. I'll appoint a public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Excuse me, sir?
Hang on.
Showing a 2013 disposition guilty of violation of a pretrial release. A battery disposition guilty in 2013 out of Pasco County. A dropped battery out of Pasco County in 2013. A battery that was amended to a disorderly conduct, it looks like, with an adjudication withheld in 2010. A probation violation reference, as well as an adjudication withheld for 2002 for marijuana possession, paraphernalia, both out of Tampa, a battery adjudication withheld in 2001 out of Pasco County.
And, sir, I have an address for you on Hurricane Drive in Weeki Wachee. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
A few years, 3 years.
All right. And does Miss Hancock's live there as well?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
I'm on SSI right now.
I'm going to set your bond at $5,000 on each count. The total is $10,000. You'll have no contact with Miss Hancock's or her child. Did you hear me explain no contact?
Yes, sir.
And you understood that?
Yeah.
Also hold you till 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve an injunction against you, we know where to find you. I'll have you back in court on April 9th. When you get out, if you get out, you should contact the public defender right away, okay? Thank you. Anthony Cox. Morning, Anthony. What's your date of birth?
August 28, 1983.
Anthony, I have 2 warrants for you out of Pasco County. They're both failed to appear warrants. The judge or judges that sign them set your bond at $1,013 on each warrant for a total of $2,026. If you could post that money, Anthony, you could get out of jail here, go down to Newport Richey, and find out when they want you back in court. If you can't post the money, we'll let Pasco know right away. We'll give them 5 days to come get you. It does not take 5 with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Can I address him very briefly?
Yep, hang on a second. Sir?
Anthony, it's Josh Alexander, your attorney on the felony case. Just remember, you're on community control, so the second you're out of jail, you need to contact your community control officer, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
See?
Yeah, Benjamin Forbes? Does work. No? Just TV. Oh, okay. Mr. Forbes, what's your date of birth?
2/15/76.
Mr. Forbes charges criminal mischief. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
I'm showing a 2000. He's a multi-source offender. I'm showing a.
No. It's his first arrest in Florida. He had some juvenile stuff in the 90s in California. He had 2 Willises in Tennessee that were a couple of years back. Some of them were dismissed. And that was from 2011. And then in 2013, the domestic violence was dismissed in 2013.
Okay. And Benjamin, I have an address for you on Deltona Boulevard. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
About maybe 8 months.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir. I'm just disabled.
Set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Crystal O'Kelly. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You'll be back in court on the 6th of April. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, okay?
I do got a question about that.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't have any other residents, and she lives with me.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if she left or not.
Okay. Well, if she's still there, you'll have to stay someplace else until this case is resolved. If she goes someplace else, you can go back. But if she stays there, you'll have to stay somewhere else. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. But to accomplish that, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'd meet you there with a deputy who'd stand by while you picked up your things and got going where you're going, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan Hallman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
1775.
Ryan, you're hearing a warrant I signed. I found probable cause for 3 counts of stalking. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Yeah, I think he has an open levy case of marijuana. Looks like he was arrested and it was filed on in February. He has out-of-state history, and this criminal history is deficient in giving us that criminal history. So I don't know what he has out of state.
Okay. And then, Vita, does he have something open?
In Levy County, it was marijuana.
No. This is Ryan Hallman. Yep.
They filed felony charges. Do you want the case number?
ATMM.
That's this case.
This case. No other criminal cases. Okay. All right. Hey, Mr. Hallman, I have an address for you. I don't have an address for you. Where you been staying lately?
I'm transient.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Actually, I live on a boat in North Carolina because I'm a diver, and I was on my way back up there.
Okay.
obviously we have concerns about his ability to return to court.
You have-
His history is out of state. He's got open drug charges. Just that he was leaving the state, just transient.
You have a job these days.
Yes. Your Honor, may I address the court?
Sure, I'd like you to tell me if you have a job, though.
Yes, I do have a job.
All right, then back off the microphone. What do you do for work?
I'm a commercial diver and an underwater welder.
Okay. What would you like to tell me?
That I didn't know I had violated the
All right,
injunction.
don't talk about the facts
about
of the case.
facts. You don't want to talk about the facts. All right.
I don't understand why I'm here.
You're here because I found a warrant and found probable cause for 3 counts of stalking. There isn't anything else to understand. Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $2,500 on each count. That's a total of $7,500. Condition, of course, is that you have no contact with Stacy. I think Stacy Joe Hallman. You heard me explain no contact earlier?
Yes.
You understood that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. I'll have you back in court on the 6th of April. If you get out, it's very important that you contact the public defender, okay? Thank you. Kenneth LeCates. Morning, sir. What's your
Morning,
date of
Your
birth?
Honor. 2170.
All right. I have 2 new charges today. I have a commercial burglary and a grand theft auto. I also have a warrant signed by Judge Rupi because apparently you failed to appear in front of her last month on a driving on a suspended license charge. So there's probable
Yes, sir.
cause all the way around. You want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. And let's see. 12. Okay. And state, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, I'm just showing the failure to appear that we were discussing. I'm showing a no disposition for a 2017 possession case. Not sure if he's on probation for it or
Anything
because
else?
I don't see a disposition.
No, sir. I've never been on probation.
Okay. All right. And Mr. LeCates, I have an address for you on Grizzly Bear Lane in Weekiwachi. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
4 years.
Okay. Do you have a
Little
job?
over 4.
Do you have a job these days?
I was working at the SPCA, sir. But
Well, apparently that's not your job anymore, right?
apparently,
Okay.
it was a family business, and I am part of the family, but
All right. On the new charges, I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $5,000 on the burglary and $2,000 on the grand theft auto. Those charges are coming back on the 9th of April. On the driving on a suspended license charge, actually, I'm going to revoke your eligibility for pretrial release on that case. That case was pending when you picked up these new cases. So in, what are we? In case number 17 CT 1820, I'm going to, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, revoke your pretrial release, hold you without bond, at least until you get back to see Judge Rupi so she can deal with that case. That case will be back then on the 6th of April. Public defender will come see you before then to see if you can get that case worked out, all right?
yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Leon Leonard. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
February 16, 1958.
Leon, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender. What is the charge I didn't do?
I'll appoint the public defender. State what you tell me.
I'm showing that he's a single source offender, showing a probation violation reference on a 92, a driving with under the influence no disposition at 87, and a dismissed aggravated assault.
All right. And Leon, I've got an address for you on Twig Street here in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Uh-huh.
How long have you been there?
I've been there about 3 years. My brother passed away and left me the house.
All right. And does Miss Jones live there with you?
Yeah, for about 5 months.
Do you have a job these days?
No, on SSI.
Okay. Then I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Miss Jones. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier this morning?
But I heard that. But I went and took a strain out on her. What I gave her Sunday was $200. She promised me that she wouldn't come back to my house no more. She got all her things out my house, got my money, moved this,
Leon?
Then she come back to my
Leon,
house.
excuse me, Leon. As unbelievably interested in all of this that I am, I don't have time to get into this whole story with you this morning.
Okay.
I just want to know if she was living there. Sounds like she was. Sounds like you don't have a job, so I'm going to set a bond of $500 and tell you that you can't have any contact with Miss Jones while this charge is pending. Do you understand that? Leon, if you don't tell me you understand, I'm going to hold you in the jail without a bond.
I understand.
Thank you.
I understand.
All right. Also going to hold you up till 4 p.m. so that she wants to serve you with an injunction. We know where to find you. Just so we're clear, if Miss Jones is still at 820 Twig Street when you get out, then she gets to stay there until this case is resolved, and you'll have to stay with somebody else until it gets resolved. Do you understand that?
I understand.
All right, very good. I have back in court on the 6th of April. Make sure you go see the PD when you get out.
I paid to get out.
You got to pay to get out, right? George Lacornu?
Yes, sir.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/12/55.
All right. Hang on one second. All right. So there's 3 charges this morning: driving under the influence, refusal to submit to a test, and driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
What was the third charge?
Driving on a suspended license.
And
You want a public defender? You're going to represent yourself.
Yes.
You're going to hire
Yes,
private
sir.
counsel. There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
I'll appoint the public defender. State.
I'm showing that the defendant's a single source offender, disposition guilty for battery in 2010 out of Hernando County. In 2007, I refused to submit to a DUI test, disposition guilty, and a felony DUI, 2007, disposition guilty, both out of Hernando County. A battery in 2006 was a disposition guilty out of Hernando County. Probation violation reference out of Hillsborough County in 2003. Another probation violation reference in Hillsborough in 2003, as well in 2002 out of Hillsborough. A probation violation out of Hillsborough again in 2002. A drug paraphernalia disposition guilty in 2001 out of Hillsborough County. A DUI third conviction in 2001. Disposition guilty out of Hillsborough in 2001. Disposition guilty for a battery in 2000, as well as an assault with the 2000, which is disposition guilty in Hillsborough. A battery in 92, disposition guilty out of Hillsborough. Another battery in Hillsborough in 92, disposition guilty, and an adjudication withheld battery in Hillsborough in 89.
All right. And, sir, I have an address for you on Island Drive in Weekiwachi. Is that where you live?
yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
I got the house in 2004. I stayed sometime in Tampa and have been back here about 2 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Part time.
What do you do?
I install fire sprinklers.
Okay. All right. Well, by my reckoning, George, this is at least your 5th DUI. I'm going to set a bond on the DUI of $5,000, on the refusal at $2,000, and $1,000 on the driving on suspended. So your total is $8,000. You'll be back in court on April 6th. If you bond out, you should go see the public defender right away. Okay?
Could I come on another date than April 6th if I bond out?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
I had
April 6th.
okay.
Joel Mativier. Morning, Joel. What's your date of birth?
32982.
All right. Joel, you serving a sentence on your other cases right now?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what your EOS is?
No, I don't.
Charge today is a felony retail theft. There's probable cause for the charge. You want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Point the PD.
Can we resolve this today?
I can't, Joel, but we'll get you back in court so that you can, because it's a felony case, so I can't do it. So I'll leave the bond at the $2,000. You'll be back in court on the 9th of April, and I'm almost certain that you'll get it resolved that day. PD will come see you before then, okay?
Okay, thanks, sir.
Thank you. Jose Modesti. Morning again, Jose. Date of birth?
Good morning. 6/25/74.
So we have the child support writs of bodily attachment out of Osceola County. The circuit judge that issued the writ set your cash purge at $2,500. If you can come up with that money, then you can get out of jail here and go to Osceola, find out when they want you back in court, if they want you back in court. If you can't come up with the money, Jose, then Osceola will have 5 days to come pick you up. If you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me. When you get back to Osceola County, the judge there would have a chance to reduce that cash purge, okay? All right,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Floyd Moore?
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Moore. What's your date of birth?
4179.
Mr. Moore, I have a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently you failed to appear in his court on 3 charges: possession of controlled substance, DUI, and driving on a suspended license. As to those charges, you're representing yourself. You're going to get private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. The bonds on the warrant are no bond. I can't change those. I'm going to send you back to see Judge Toner on the 26th of March. It looks like they told you April 9th, but you'll be back March 26th. And the PD will come see you before then, okay?
So the date of March 26th?
Yep.
I'll be going to court?
Yep.
Okay,
Very good.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ricardo Santana Mendoza. Morning, Ricardo. What's your date of birth?
August 19th, 1994.
Ricardo, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Toner, and he found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. Judge Toner set your bond at no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see him on the 9th of April, and the PD will come see you before then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. And William Scott. Morning, Mr. Scott. What's your date of birth?
Morning. 5/10/58.
Scott, we have 4 charges this morning. The first is felony DUI. Second, driving on a permanently revoked license. Possession of controlled substance without prescription. As to those charges, there's probable cause. You want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public
Private
defender?
counsel.
Very good. State, can you tell me?
I have a prescription for the oxycodone.
Well, you should talk to your lawyer about that and not me, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. State?
Your Honor, I'm just showing, I'm showing that he's a multi-state source offender, but I'm not showing his out-of-state history.
Okay.
I do show a probation violation out of Hernando County in 2009 and a DUI reference out of Hernando County in 2008, but I don't have any disposition.
Right. He had 3 DUIs while he was living in Michigan, and a 4th since he's been in Florida. And sir, I have an address for you on Ardenwood Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
10 years.
And do you have a job these days?
I hope so. I work at Home Depot.
Okay. I'm going to leave the bonds per the arrest affidavit in this case, which is $5,000 on the DUI, $5,000 on the felony Willis, and $1,000 on the controlled substance. That's a total of $11,000. I'll have you back in court on the 9th of April. Make sure you tell your lawyer about that court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.